Yo, what is up, guys? I got asked to basically respond to a video of a buddy of mine, Megadeth N, here on YouTube, which is a moto vlogger, and a buddy of mine. We've been buddies for like 7 years or something like that. I met him through YouTube. He lives over in England. That's all I can think about right now. I can't think about what city. I can't even think about it. I can't even think of the name. But the first thing that comes to mind is this job interview that I was going for, and basically the job was $11 an hour. So the reason I heard about this job, my dad did security guard work. It was basically like he did. It was a company that he worked for that gave him the job opportunity to work at this location. So he decided to say, yeah, I'll take the job because my dad needed money, and my dad was making a little bit of money, and basically he was like the security guard check. So when people would come in and take cars out, because it was for rental cars, and basically the rental cars were in an off-site parking lot, and you would take those off-site parking lot cars and drive them into the airport, and then take those cars into the airport so people can rent the car. So it would be, they'd say, we need a Honda Civic, or we need a four-door sedan Honda Civic. You'd go get that four-door Honda Civic, take it into the rental car area, and then you, your mom, your dad would pick it up, and that would be the whole thing. Seems easy enough. It was primarily from what my dad said before he just said, I can't deal with anymore. I can't deal with the security guard work there anymore. It was that trash and that horrible. He basically said it was primarily non-speaking English people, and basically his job was to write down the numbers of the cars coming in and out so he can log the cars in and out. So it's not really a hard position or a hard job or anything like that. So you're going, oh, okay, that sounds pretty easy. But when they're primarily not English speaking, it's hard to communicate. And a lot of people go, my dad will go, I can't understand you. And the reason I say it's a really horrible, sketchy job, my dad was able to get me an interview because he was a security guard there, and he was like, hey, they're hiring. And at the time, I didn't like the position that I'm in now, like the job. I'm still working at the same job that I was, but I was thinking maybe this job would give me more hours. I would be able to do it, and it was a closer place than what I'm doing now. So we roll up there for the interview, and I'm rolling in there, and this really attractive lady comes out of her office, and she goes, hey, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, I'm here for a job interview. And she's like, a job interview for what? I was like, I'm not exactly sure. I just know I got an email saying that you guys wanted to come interview me, so I'm here. And then when I got there, the guy came out and he goes, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I'm here for an interview. And he goes, an interview for what? And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean an interview for what? I guess for the car, for like the drivers driving from the parking lot to the airport. He goes, oh, when was your interview? And when he said that, I realized that there was something sketchy. So like I was saying, guys, the main reason why I thought that job was real sketchy is because when you go for an interview and the interviewer is like, what are you doing here? And then I was thinking to myself, hey, if I could do this part-time, I could do my other part-time, or I could do this full-time and do the other one part-time, I would have more money and it wouldn't be an issue. And that was one of the main things I was focusing on, is, hey, I work like 20 hours a week at that point, at that job I'm currently at now. I was only doing like 20 hours a week. I was like, hey, I can pick up some extra hours doing this other job. And when they told me, what are you doing here? And I'm like, you sent me an email telling me I was supposed to come for a job interview, and now you're telling me, like, you have no clue who I am or why I'm supposed to be there? That's so unprofessional. And then, on top of that, he goes, when do you want to work? And I'm like, when do I want to work? Like, you're letting me choose the hours that I want to work. And at that time, I was like, because at that other time, like about 7 months ago, I was working only 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I was like, hey, I could do like 8 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. So it would still give me that like hour to get to work, because I wasn't that far from work. It was only like 15 minutes up the road or 30 minutes up the road. So I was like, hey, you can give me that position. He goes, we don't have that position. What position do you want? And I'm thinking, you're the employee. You're supposed to tell me what hours I am supposed to work, not the other way around. So he was like, can you work, like, basically it was already the hours that I was currently working. So I was like, I can't work those hours. He's like, well, you can do 2 to 11. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I can do 2 to 11, but when everybody's primarily Hispanic and doesn't speak a lick of English, that's going to be a terrible fucking position. It's going to be very terrible, because I'm not going to be able to have fun, jokey joke with my coworkers, or really do anything like that. So I told him, I said, I'll get back to you and let you know if I'm interested in the position and whatnot. And I was like, nah. You know what makes your job fun and exciting is the people you work with, is the people that you socialize at work. They're the ones that help your job go by good. Even if the job's not the best job, they'll help you out and make it fun. That's why I'm at the position I'm at now, at the place I'm at now, because the people that I work with, they make it fun and exciting to be there. They joke around, they goof off, they do all the fun stuff that I like to do. They just goof off, and I have cool people to talk to. If I'm trying to work with people that don't speak English, and I'm gonna say like Jose or Adriana that I need help with something, they're not gonna understand when I'm saying, yo, I need help with this and this and this. They're gonna go, no comprende English, like English, and I'm gonna say no comprende español, and they're gonna understand Trevor doesn't speak Spanish. Trevor doesn't understand Spanish. You know, I should understand Spanish. I hung around Spanish people my whole life, but every Spanish person I ever hung around, they didn't spoke a lick of Spanish either. They were basically born in America and only spoke English. But that was a weird incident, is going somewhere where you try to get a job. Oh, they're willing to help you out get a job. They don't give a shit if whatever. All the guy said is, do you have a driver's license? I was like, yeah, dog, I have a driver's license. He goes, he doesn't even give a shit if you have records, you have tickets. He didn't give a shit. All he wanted to do was hire you so you get a job, so you could take the cars from point A to point B. That's all he cared about. The guy did not give a damn if you were like a reckless driver or not, because I was like, you want to check my driving record to see if he's like, nah, we don't even care about that. So when I told him I had another job, that's basically when he was like, oh, what, you have another job? Oh, like, that's not gonna work. Like, he didn't understand why some people have extra jobs, like 2 jobs. One is like their main job, and then the other job is like extra money. And who doesn't love getting a lot of money? You know, it helped me pay my car off more. It helped me get the things that I want, like maybe a Vespa scooter, or maybe better camera equipment for you guys, for YouTube, and just better overall quality. So with that in mind, I just decided that's not for me. And then learning all the bad stuff that my dad would told me about, because like I said, my dad was a security guard at the guard shack, and he just wrote down the numbers of cars coming in and out of that parking lot. And that's not a hard job, right? But he told me so many times people were just getting like random fired, or random hours be changed. Like they'd show up at like the regular shift, like 8 o'clock in the morning, to work till like 3 in the afternoon. They go, you're not even supposed to be here. You're only getting 2 hours today. And they were like, what? And from what I understood, the management, the employees that worked there were all like real bad. They didn't run it like a professional job. And a lot of the actual places that were doing the rental car company, they were like, they took this company and they're like, we don't want to work with you. You're not professional. You're basically scum. You're scamming people, basically, is what you are, because you're hiring illegals that don't speak English. They're coming from Puerto Rico and Cuba, and you're just like, hey, as long as you can get the car from point A to point B, we'll hire your ass. And I'm not working at a place that is going to be very sketchy. You know, I don't give a damn if you're paying me top dollar, you're paying me good money. I'm just not going to accept it. So I'm where I'm at now, and where I'm at now, at least what they're doing is phenomenal, because they're saying you could work the minimum like 16 hours a week, or the minimum 18 hours a week, whatever we're scheduled, or you can literally come in and do 55 hours a week. That means you'd be doing 10 hours a day, 9 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 6 days a week. They want you to do that, because they always hit me up with text messages like, we want you to come in and clock in early, because they want you to pick up as much hours as you can. They really encourage you to work as much hours as you can. It's not really benefiting them paying you all that extra money, instead of you getting a $300 paycheck and them having to end up paying you $900 on a paycheck. The thing is, they want you to get those orders out, and they'll let you come in 20 minutes early, 30 minutes early. Now they're allowing me to come in an hour early. So instead of working at 8:30, I can come in at 7:30 and work that extra hour. So instead of getting like 5 hours a day, I'll be getting like 6 hours a day. So you figure. So I haven't had really too many bad experiences at jobs personally, besides working for a winery, which was a part-time position. And it was not like a part-time position. It was basically like one of those temporary services. And the thing about it sucked is I was the only English-speaking person there. They paid $10 an hour, and I was like right out of high school, so I was like $10 an hour is way better than I think it was like $7 was like the minimum wage back then. You're talking 2005, and look at these ass clowns walking in the middle of the street, and there's crosswalks where they could be walking. And the thing about it is, the co-worker that I talked to, he had moderately good English, so I could talk to him. Oh, damn it! That was a hell of a bump. And the thing about it is, he had moderately good English, so we could communicate. But most people there didn't speak a lick of English, didn't talk to me. So it was another job that, like, I'm not going to work, because what's this clown doing? What the hell are they doing? Why are you driving so slow? You can't tell me you're driving like that slow in the rain. It's called move it or get out the way. But the reason I left that job, my back started hurting, because I was lifting 50 pounds. Yes, even though I worked out, I'm lifting 50 pounds of wine kegs for 8 hours a day. And I did that for 2 weeks. And even though I was like 19 years old, a athlete straight out of high school, and I used to work out like hardcore back then, and I still work out a lot, I was like, they didn't provide me with any back brace or any braces that would help lifting, and they're like, that's not our responsibility, that's your responsibility to buy the back brace and to do all that. So I decided to quit that job. And that's basically the two bad places I've had, were those two. The one place was a really sketchy interview, and then the last one was at winery. But I think I just want to make as much money as I possibly can, so when I get older, I can travel and do the things that I want.